Hello, sisters. This is Jenni O'Brien, your host of Sisterhood and Faith. And I can't tell you how excited I am for our guest today. She is beautiful, wonderful, a mother, a traveler. She is one of the most amazing women in my life. Not only is she all of those, but she is my baby sister, Tiffany. And I cannot believe it. We are able to get Tiffany on our podcast today. This is just such a blessing. And I'm so excited to hear from her. So, Tiffany Allison, welcome to the Sisterhood and Faith podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay! I'm so excited. So, there's just so much that I want to talk to you about. First of all, we have to let everybody know you are one of the most worldly women I've ever met, not just because, you're my sister. How many countries have you traveled?
Mom says 60, but probably over 40, 50. I don't count, but I've been passionate about it since I was like 15 and I'm 45. So that's a lot of years under my belt.
A lot of years. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. I'd like to let everybody know, because if this is their first podcast they're listening to, and they didn't listen to the other ones prior, but let me give a little bit of background. Tiffany and I, we have 4 sisters, and all of us are so much alike, but then so different in so many ways. There's 3 of us, my mom was 18. She got married at 18, had 3 babies by 21, 3 babies under 3. And she was, what was she, Tiff, 21 or?
22. 22 by the time she had all of you. So she was pregnant with Michelle at 22, right?
Yes.
Or 21.
21. And so she was a little bit crazy. She is a little crazy now, even having all of us girls. And then she was married for about 12 years. And then that just didn't work out, and remarried my bonus dad. That is just amazing. And that's a whole other episode we're going to do on our bonus.
Right.
Our bonus parents are just amazing. And we had, when I was, I think I was 10 years old, and my mom got pregnant with literally my dream baby, Tiffany. I can't even believe she has arms and legs to this day, because all of us fought over her all the time. So Tiffany's quite a bit younger than us. Look at her, nice and young skin.
It's evened out.
Yes. So I love that we'll be able to get so many different perspectives too. Maybe not today, but in future podcasts, episodes, in the difference of just our age difference and things that we're going through, things like that. Tiff, on that same note, with all of us being so different, where do you get your faith from, or where do you get your calling or your purpose? How do you think it's from traveling? Do you think it's from what is, give us some insight on that.
What's funny is and I think the viewers will appreciate this. So Jenni and I are very different. However, I was the one person, our family our mother was very religious before she met my father. And then that all kind of changed. So we really didn't grow up going to church religiously on Sundays and things of that nature. So all of us girls, I feel like, had to figure out faith and what they were and what they wanted on their own. I mean, you've done it really on your own. It's not because anybody told you. Grandma Boom was religious, but it was really never pushed upon us. I don't think past your real younger years, you really went to church, not with our family,
Right.
And we grew up in the same house. So even though we're different generations and we're, a little bit different, we all were in the same house. So
Yes,
I think we really didn't get those young values.
Yes. Isn't that's what I find that's just so fascinating, that here we have the 4 of us, we lived in the same house, same parents, same pretty much everything, and all of our faith journeys have been so different.
Completely divided.
Completely, and that's what I say. Me and you are on like one spectrum. This is why it's so beautiful that we are able to come together. That I can remember when I was 10, 11 years old praying to God going to Bible study with my Mima, and believing at such a young age. And then we have on the other spectrum, Sister Tiffany that
I didn't learn who
doesn't believe.
Jesus was until I was 13. I was
Yes,
13 when I found out that Jesus was even a person. You
yes,
know what I mean? Like
yes.
I'd never even heard of that. I like the nativity scene, I thought it was like for playing. I thought they were action figures, at
Right,
Christmas. Like I
right.
didn't, nobody told us. So like for my personal, I didn't find out about any religion until I was 13. And you remember Jenny, I was the closest thing. The reason I'm your son's godmother, your firstborn's godmother, is because I was in Catholic school and I was the closest thing that in our
God, you
family,
were the closest thing to
the,
God that I thought.
right?
Yes.
But like going to Catholic school from having no religious upbringing, I went on like it was almost like I was rebelling. Remember, I signed up to
Yes.
the Lutheran Christian Church. I got
Yes.
baptized and confirmed in the same day because I joined the church with my friend Cassie, who was my neighbor, my best friend. And I just wanted to do it. I never told mom and dad. I never told anybody except you, grandma. And I mean, I remember I borrowed a nice outfit from one of our other sister Tammy's friends, Cara Polito. And like, that was, and then I told mom and dad, and they're like, oh my God, like,
And
no
why
pun
do you
intended.
think, I mean, we're going to get into things that we don't even, maybe we haven't even thought about, but why do you think that you couldn't tell your parents about God or about
I
that
told them I
experience?
was going to Subway. I would
Yes.
tell them that I was riding my bike to Subway on Sundays to go get a sub sandwich. And I'd be gone for like 2 hours, but I was really doing religious education with all the kids my age at the Lutheran Christian Church. And I liked it, not only because my friend Cassie went there, but they had a female pastor. And I thought that was really cool.
Yes. So, okay. So let's just fast forward a little because I know you've had all that experience, but then now in your older years,
Mhm.
you've really chosen not to follow God, or you don't even know if you believe in
You
God
know,
or believe in. So what is it that really gives you purpose and what gives you that faith and that strength when you need it now?
I think, I mean, my family, 100%, my work, my job, my sisters, my kids, I don't know, like my passion for travel. Now, I just look at faith completely differently than you do. And let me clarify because we probably couldn't be more different in you have very traditional beliefs. I might have non traditional beliefs, but you and I are very much the same. And I have the most respect for you of all my sisters when it comes to this. You don't vary from what you preach is how you live. You're one of the kindest, non-condescending, giving, loving, accepting naturally. So the things that you project, and I feel like to me, faith and the way I judge people, and I think a lot of what faith is how you look at the world and how you judge people. And I judge people like I look at them for who they are, okay? And then I look at where they think they are, okay? So if they think they're this atheist up here and they're talking about how they want to be buried down here, well, this is somebody who's very confused. Now, if you look at somebody like you, who this is what you preach and this is how you live, this is somebody I can jive with because they live within their beliefs, and it's real. I
They're
don't know if
true. They're
that's,
right, right. Wow, Tiffany, it's I think that with a lot of things that if we all are just be true to who you are,
mhm,
that's what's most important. That's what people want. People want you. People want to know. People don't care if you have flaws and all these different things. They want the real you, and that's
right.
what they can love. But I think so many people now, especially with social media and everything, they start becoming maybe who they are not. And
Only seeing, like, we call it fake book. Because, if you're depressed or you're sad and all you're seeing is these people with these fake representations of the best parts of their life, that can be really depressing for people. That's why I'm so proud of kind of you, all of us, our whole family. Like we don't filter things. We don't, it's funny. People will be like, oh my gosh, you look just how you look. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not trying to put on a front that isn't.
yes, yes. Okay, so Tiff, we have to hear about this is people will love this that she is on a complete mission and you have to tell a little bit about traveling the world with her children. And what a blessing that is. She's already been so many places in the world with her kids and her kids are only like how old are they now? Like
Yeah,
10 and
about to be 11 like next week and then just turned 13.
yes.
And they've
So
already been to 10 countries each, and we didn't even start traveling with them until later.
So why do you feel traveling is so important for especially
Well,
the young?
you know how I was sent to France when I was 15, kind of
Yeah.
kicking and screaming. I wanted to go to Campo Matachic, and dad said, no, you're going to go learn French. I didn't want to go. Well, they made me go. And it was obviously the most eye-opening thing. But for me to be able to view the United States from outside of the United States and kind of getting that bug for travel, and not that French is that different of a culture than us, but things like, oh, you guys have more than one TV. And I'm like, we have five. You guys have more than one car. I'm like, five, you know, but just opening your mind up to that. And like, I think with my kids, and I'll kind of get away from my own history, but at least with my kids, like, for example, we just took this trip to the Philippines, right? We had a backpack each. All we took were two outfits, no electronics at all. We had clay that we had Etch a Sketch. We had, highlights. We had journaling. We had sketching. We had all that stuff, but we absolutely had no electronics. And it didn't matter if there was Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? Like, it just
Yes.
didn't matter. And after about 48 hours, I'm going to tell you, the kids didn't care. Like, they didn't care. We didn't stay on the beaten track. And we did like go, build a basketball court for these. There was a single dad actually who had 17 kids in this village, dirt floors, chickens everywhere. My son, who's not an athlete, they were calling him, Charles Barkley or some famous, I don't know sports, but they were
Charles
like calling
Barkley.
him,
Charles Barkley.
they're calling him like Michael Jordan. They were calling him Michael Jordan.
Oh,
And I'm
Michael
like,
Jordan?
and Jack, Jack, he's no Michael Jordan, okay?
Yes, no.
But like, compared to these kids in the village, and like, I just want my kids to see that, every time you go to Walgreens and you want that little thing for $10 that's just a little piece of plastic, there's kids in the world that have literally never had a toy or an outfit that fit them, you know?
Right. Right. Yes. So your kids, with how are you teaching them? How do you want to teach them with faith or are you raising them with any type of religion,
So,
anything like
yeah,
that? Because I know that that's a whole other subject because,
well, no, but I feel like, because I'm a single mom, right? I'm on my own. My ex-husband, we call my ex-husband's wife my bonus mom, my
oh,
bonus wife. Like, I love her. We vacation together. Like, she's amazing. Um, and her and my ex-husband are very religious. Their family is very religious. This is probably going to sound terrible to faith-based people, but I feel like they get so much over there, and
hmm
it's so structured and it's so different than the way I am. Like, to me, my Sundays, that's my only day that I don't work and have my kids, and I only get that every other week. Well, they're in church every other week religiously. And with me, like, my religion, we're going to go hike the Superstition Mountains. We're going to
hmm
throw a dart at a board, and we're going to go up, and do the Verde River on a paddleboard. Like, we're going to, like with
you're
you,
going to
Jenni, we
create,
love,
right, getting out in nature, God's creations. That to
right.
me is the most holy time for me with gets me closest to God when I'm out into what he's created, the mountains, the rivers, and that's what I always feel that someday, Tiffany, I always say with the podcast before, I don't know if you listen to it, but my goal in life is to bring you to the Lord, bring you to God. And
But
it,
okay, so I went down a rabbit hole, and you know that I love studying world religions.
yes.
And I will tell you that I'm definitely down this rabbit hole of a cataclysmic event that took place that all religions agree upon, whether it's Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, cultures that pre-existed us. They all have the one thing in common of a global flood, and then somebody who brought back teachings of agriculture and ways of life that predate the flood. Like basically the survivors carried on to the next, whoever survived, you know, carried on to the other survivors, the greater societies, and it all came from a global flood. So if you
So
want to,
maybe you're starting to
so
believe in the
maybe I'm
Noah's
starting
Ark.
with the Noah's Ark.
Oh
That's
my
right.
gosh. Well,
We're going to start one boat at a time,
one little thing at a time, but
right?
and that's what it's all about, because you know to feel that Holy Spirit. Well, I always call the Holy. I don't know if you call it the Holy Spirit, but
I
just
could call
feeling.
it Mother Nature. It's the
y-
same thing,
Yes,
right?
where you never know when you're going to believe in God. Like for me,
Right.
for you, I pray it could be today, it could be 30 days, it could be 30 years, it could be on your deathbed. You just never know. But I'm
Well,
praying for you, Tiff.
Einstein, on his deathbed, Einstein said, I've rejected religion my whole life, but now that I'm about to die, there is no other explanation than the fact that there is a God. So,
So that could
I
be
mean,
Tiff. That could be Tiff.
it could be me.
I
Not
love
that
that.
I'm comparing myself to Einstein.
No, yeah. So, Tiffany, I know you don't have a lot more time today. And we didn't even hit on you guys. If you can see in the background, Tiffany is in our family restaurant. Oh my gosh, Aunt
I'm hiding in the
Sharada's.
back.
She's hiding in the back. She's not doing her job. I
I'm
promise. I
not.
won't.
It's lunch rush right now. No, we're
I
fine.
won't tell anybody. But I'm just so happy you're taking the time to come on the podcast today.
I
And you're.
appreciate you having me,
Oh,
especially your least religious sister, you know?
well, that's what's so to me being in this lifetime, and everybody matters. We want everybody to feel the Holy Spirit in them. We want anyone and everyone to God, and everybody has their own path, and that's okay. I know what you were saying yesterday, Tiffany, that just literally shook me, that you know that religion, look at, I'm going to get emotional. Religion to you sometimes is pushes you away because some
Uh-huh.
people have made it a bad experience for you. Look at, I'm going to get emotional. Uh, And
You're
that's
not
what,
one of them, though, and you know
yeah,
that.
well, that's when you said that. I'll let you say, you said yesterday, but the point is that people are human, people are flawed, it doesn't matter if you're a priest or a
Right.
a, a ministry or whatever it is, that we all are just trying to do the best we can, and that it's
Well,
sad that
just quit looking at anything as a religion or a race or a culture. We're humans. We are all of the same species. And that's at the end of the day, I might not believe in the 10 commandments, but yes, I do. Yes, I do. You shouldn't kill, you shouldn't cheat, you shouldn't covet. Not one of the 10 commandments do I not live in my life every day,
yes,
right? Or at least try.
yes,
I'm sure I've stolen a candy bar or done something, whatever. I've
yes,
envied somebody, but at the end of the day, we're all humans, right?
yes. Well, and
And I think,
it's sad that a lot of times that religions push people away from God, where
right,
God, to me, is a one-on-one relationship where you are trying to do the best you can in this lifetime to get to heaven and be the best you can be here, where sometimes people get exposed to certain religions that have pushed them so far away from God because of their
right.
bad experiences, where that's my mission, is just trying to spread God's love, like what like, where if we can just make
The
people feel.
inclusive part, not the
Yes,
exclusive part, right?
yes, and
When you've
including.
always been a master of that, you, Michelle, and Tammy, like just shout out to my sisters. Like they were all really good looking, really athletic, and really popular because they were nice. Tell me anybody that knows somebody in high school that got popular from being nice. And I swear, like Jenni from the day one has always led by including, not excluding. So that's just, I mean, this for you is like putting a square peg in a square hole. This makes sense. Like, well, no, I mean, this is like this path, this journey. Like, I feel like you found your calling
Yeah,
of
yeah, I
inclusiveness.
Yes, including just women that we, coming from a family of four girls, and
Hmm.
we understand the importance of sisterhood when it doesn't matter how different we all are, that we all need each other. And even though we are so fortunate we have our four sisters, not all people, like my own daughter, doesn't have sisters, where we
Right.
need to create
Or
those.
mine. It's awful.
Yes. So we need
I
to
know.
create environments, we need to create groups and community that they will have support. They will have love always and forever. And that's our mission. And that's our mission with all of us girls, right? Is to just spread
For
love.
sure.
So, Tiffany, before we get going today, because you got to get back to the floor, man.
I got to get back
The,
to the
the
floor.
family's gonna like kill us that we are disturbing the restaurant.
Well, and Michelle's not here either, so
Oh gosh, thank goodness.
it's all good.
So is there anything you'd like to add at the end of today or anything you'd like to
No,
just
just thank
say?
you so much for having me on. And I appreciate you. And I love that you're doing this. And I know that it takes all walks of life to create, the type of environment you're creating. And I just appreciate you and I love you.
Oh, I love you too. And thank you. We'll see you soon. God bless you. And I love you. And I'll talk to you probably like in an hour, right?
Probably.
Okay.
All right.
Love you. Have a
I
great
love you,
day.
Jay. You
Bye.
too. Bye.